So today I was going to cover 2 articles. The first was an article that Irit hasn't stolen, which I'm okay with. I will link it below as soon as he's finished it. The second was this couple, a gender-fluid family, who are preparing themselves for a total transformation as the father is set to become a woman and the mother is set to become a man. I'm assuming here they'll no longer be gender-fluid. I guess that was the only thing I had for that. But instead we're going to cover something else entirely different. We are going to be covering an article from a website I had thought had died a couple of years ago, but is still going to this day, where first it was all about diversity, then inclusion. Here's why neither of those are enough, from everyday feminism. It was either this or monogamy in relationships with a webinar, which I might yet cover tomorrow because it is quite amusing. Hell, if I can get the $35, I might take the class for lols. So 2 years ago, I identified as a cisgendered queer woman. I was a die-hard feminist who claimed intersectionality and assimilated into white hipster culture, which meant that I was oblivious and nonchalant towards the problematic nature of my environment 99% of the time. Well, no, you probably were aware of it. You were just nonchalant and oblivious, ironically. Around this time, I co-led a feminist organisation that claimed to be open to all genders and gender non-conforming people. The leaders of the organisation frequently tried to be as careful as possible around our language so as to not explicitly exclude anyone, but our actual marginalisation of trans and gender variant people was way less of a concern. I was recently having a discussion with somebody who mentioned that in college pronouns pops up now, and my first thought was, are your names so bland, so mundane, that they are no longer enough of an indicator as to who you are? Why are we so sensitive that we need to use pronouns as well? I'm not saying I don't respect someone's right to have that, but a college or a university enabling this seems redundant. It seems almost counterproductive. You are there to learn. Fuck your feelings. Your feelings are hardly important, nor pronouns. I don't recall ever being in a lecture and someone holding up their hand. Genuinely, that's just not something people do. You go there, you write notes. Rocket science, I know. So when you're asked your name, your pronouns, maybe your sexuality, your identifying race, maybe your, I don't know, birthstone perhaps, to me it just seems like an embellishment of your already existing name, which is unique to you. Yes, okay, there are many people that have your name on this planet, but until we're all issued a barcode, I think we're going to have to put up with names for now. We cared about our image and performance first. Well, isn't that telling? And our genuine intentions towards transforming the space for the comfort of trans and gendered variant people second. Are you transphobic and non-inclusive? This is hate crime material. Move to Nottingham so we can prosecute you. I've noticed this tends to happen when we aim for inclusivity. We buy into our performances. We convince ourselves that mere inclusion into inherently oppressive structures and environments is equal to radical transformation. Well, that just tells me you don't truly believe what you sell. You need to actually believe it. Unless, of course, you do, but you decided that your believing it isn't enough. What you're doing isn't enough. Oh, look at that. Everyday Feminism has a Patreon. Sorry, I only just noticed. It's quite something. While the concept of inclusivity leads us away from thinking about justice through the lens of quota-based diversity, it stops short of genuinely progressive practice. Well, that's because you can never have a truly progressive society if you're using quotas to make sure everyone is represented. Eventually, those with talent are going to notice those that do not belong. It won't be because of race. It just happens to be a byproduct when they're being forced into a position they are not worthy of being in. And here's why. Inclusion and acceptance do not equal redistribution and reparations. I'm sick of people saying they demand or require reparations for the past. Build a bridge and get over it. If it were up to me, I'd buy a big planet-sized neuralizer, if I'm unable to destroy the world in 2020, that is. Maybe not the size of a planet, that would be a bit too big. Perhaps the moon, that seems like a good size. Just so you can all stop bleating on about reparations, because let's not forget here, find a race that hasn't had slavery, or had people from their race that were sold into a slave trade. I think you will find you are going to be hard-pressed to find one. A lot of these articles seem to focus on more current events, but they seem to omit the ones actually still taking place in countries they are hardly pressing for equality in, cough cough, Libya and Somalia, cough cough. In the majority of spaces I've encountered that strive for inclusion, there is a well-orchestrated and rarely disrupted performance that occurs. The most structurally privileged group, be it cis or white, has the most power, space and resources, yet claims to be doing the work to achieve inclusivity. That's right. You tear those white people down more. How dare they want to help? What they need, what they really need, is a mentor. And that mentor must be someone that can truly understand what oppression feels like, because white people have never experienced that ever. So I recommend doing what universities in this country are doing, and that's giving them a person of colour mentor to make sure they are truly guilty and feel it at all times, no matter how good they are working towards inclusivity, diversity and equality. Just continue to tear that person down because of their whiteness, that toxic whiteness. It's a safe space. I can almost hear a cis white woman yelling at a group of brown and black trans kids while she clutches the key to her Land Rover. What does her Land Rover have to do with this? I mean, besides it telling me she's wasted money on a crap car. It's nice that she has disposable income, I guess. And also, what does them being trans have anything to do with it either? Are they unable to get work because of their race or gender? Do they lack education that might be a byproduct of certain communities? I don't know what you're trying to imply here. My question to everyone engaging in this performance is, okay, but who cares about inclusivity when the majority of the power still lies in the hands of the most privileged? Citation needed. And don't use Trump. He's hardly a citation. He's amusing. What are those who are included given besides miniature pieces of the pie and a microaggression or two? Of course. Fucking microaggressions. Well, imagine my shock. Well, it's 2018, current year. Best argument ever. You won! Congratulations, the internet is now yours. And frankly, we want money, resources and power. Well, might I recommend you take a page out of David Hogg's book and make threats that are illegal, but make the threats nonetheless, because that will totally work for you. Hell, hire David Hogg to do it for you. His Twitter is still up, even though he broke the law, and I think Twitter's terms of service. But that doesn't matter, because he has the right political beliefs. I know he's a bit too white, but a little shoe polish will fix that. Too blunt? I think I'm good. I mean, what else is there to say? Nigger? Inclusion is not enough, because it does often not involve any meaningful and redistribution of power. Define the power, and then seek to take the power and have it shared equally amongst people. Maybe convene a council of race. We shall call it the Council of Rejects and Posh Twats, or to give it its correct name, crap. It first involves an acknowledgement that there are people in this world who possess power and resources due to the advantages granted to them by state structures. Ah, the 2015 argument is still going strong, I see. I'm not denying, by the way, that there are some that exist. I just think bleating on about them is quite counterproductive. But it's kept you guys going, and I see your coffers aren't exactly running dry right now, so congratulations. I'm sure that $808 a month is keeping you going. For example, people who are white possess social and economic powers from histories of colonization and enslavement. In America, yes. But there were a number of white people that were in fact sold into slavery. In fact, some are still stolen and sold off to this day. And I'm not going to get into the argument about modern slavery, that's not relevant to this discussion. There are advantages to every race in some countries. Let us take black people in South Africa as an example, where President, whatever his fucking name is, tried to pass a bill, which he did in fact pass, but since retracted, where he would just take away the land from white farmers, those that had, all the land, because how dare they do that, leading to some leaving the country and going to Russia. Now, of course, this didn't get covered much in the United Kingdom. Lauren Southern did a fantastic job covering it, and there was a recent update where the bill was taken back. Many have been led to believe this was because he's revoking it. No. It is because he's trying to find a more concrete way of taking the land with less fuss. Some farmers going so far as to say they will defend their land as is their right, and quite rightly so. Yes, they'll lose, but the principle stands, and I'm sure it's going to work out so well for South Africa. Just look at Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. It did wonders for them. But of course, white people, they have all the power, economic and social. Yeah, right. Cis people have power in that they are recognised and affirmed in their gender and public and private institutions. Gender is an irrelevant factor that only comes into play in certain fields where physicality plays a part, or empathy. Many occupations, gender is irrelevant. Those few that where gender are relevant, you can tell instantly why men dominate them, and, of course, why women dominate them. Certain traits that both genders have. And I know you're now going to say, but what about those that do not conform to the binary? I have no answer for you. Might I recommend a padded cell or a strong drink? A proper understanding of structural redistribution requires one to understand that the power that these people of privilege possess is not God-given, God not real, but is a product of human creation. Hardly a surprise, God's not real. It's structurally implemented. I'm sure it is. I'm going to skip the next paragraph because I saw a big, bold writing and I like it. I think we're going to finish on this. We need reparations. If we take the concept of structural redistribution seriously and begin to challenge our standards of comfort, we can meaningfully subvert the power structures that benefit us. Otherwise, we will continue to be complicit. Structural redistribution is reparations in action. It is repairing harm from the source. It's solving a problem from its root. I'm going to solve a problem for you all. This one is the best one. It helps everyone. In fact, you're all winners. You simply vote for Magog and Cthulhu in 2020. You won't need reparations, because you'll all be dead. You won't need reparations, because your skull will be used as a cushion for my bottom. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. However, Korn can suck my large, noodly appendage. He's my bitch now. Anyway, as always with Everyday Feminism, you've been fun. Thank you for cheering me up. I'm now going to kick back, drink a nice bottle of Tanglefoot, and relax. Also, before we finish, I have made my first video exclusively for BitChute. I'm going to do these maybe once a month, maybe try and do more than that, but at the moment, I don't have the time to. They're short videos, the intention is to keep them under 5 minutes. And while I intend to do more topical focused subject matter, the first one is in fact about a current event. It is not going to be a continued theme. As stated, topical is what I want to go ahead with. Fighting is a topic I really want to talk about. When do you stop? When does the subtle nuance stop people from arguing with each other? But I have yet to script any of that and form a coherent opinion on it. I really need to stop listening to the open house because watching them bicker in their little echo chamber is starting to drive me insane. Anyway, I hope everyone has a lovely Monday, and thank you all for listening.
Oh, goddowns.
In your arse.
Imagine my shock